What's up, YouTube? Andrew Lewis here with GL Rustic Design. So today is the first video of our epic house build that's coming. So far we've got down the church driveway, as you can see there, and then we also have where my shop will be. The shop is a 40-foot wide, 90-foot long, and 14-foot walls. And then over here, see how it's nice, the church pad's already down. And over here we have where the house will be. So the house is technically it's a 5-bedroom, 3.5 bath. There's also a full bathroom in the shop. So if you want to count all of them, 5-bedroom, 4.5 bath. Shop's 36, it will be 3,600 square foot, and the house will be right around 4,300 square foot total. We should be getting this dug hopefully in the next few weeks. I just wanted to come out here today and briefly go over what you need to do before you build a house. So the first step is, obviously, you got to have a piece of land and you got to find a house design. I will mention down in the description below what website I got my house plan off of. Also, you can look on any kind of realtor website. Drive by. We actually drove by this piece of property here in northern Alabama, and we had a for sale sign on it, so we looked into it and we bought it. We're right across the road from the lake. There is a marina that's at the end of our driveway, so we're just a few feet away from the lake. The next steps, once you find the house plan that you're going to go with, you'll need to get the plans drawn up, or you can buy the plans off of a website. I knew a guy who was much cheaper, who is in Tupelo, Mississippi. He drew my house plans up for around $400. If you went to somebody, or if you bought the house plans, you're going to be looking around $1,000, $1,200, somewhere in there. Also, my shop plans, I got them drawn up, really wasn't necessary. I think he charged me like $100 to draw those up, just so I knew, I had something concrete in the end. The next few steps is, if you're going to, we contracted out our house and shop, driveway, everything for one lock and key price. We got multiple quotes from multiple contractors. I try to get at least 3, just so I know I'm not getting, I'm not lowballing somebody and they're not, charging me more than what they should charge. Once I got those steps, my next step was to, I wanted to see if I wanted to subcontract it, if I wanted to, find everybody to build some myself. Ultimately chose not to, because I build a lot of furniture and also still work a full-time job as well. So like I said, I went with the contractor. So once I went over that part, we sat down, we had multiple meetings with the contractor himself, explaining what all we wanted, pictures of the bathroom, etc. And then from there, our contractor actually broke it down to what everything was going to be. So, like, for example, in our contract, or our quote, before we signed the contract, he said, this tile and tile labor will be this, windows will be this. And he broke it down, not to the penny, but what everything was going to be, what he was going to charge us, and so on. Which I felt really comfortable about that. I didn't just want a contractor to say, hey, your house is going to cost you this, a square foot, blah blah blah, and that's all you get. I wanted to know where my money was going. Some people might be different, but that's just the way I am. So once we went through all that, we got the official quote from the contractor. And then I told him that we wanted to use him, and so on. He's actually he's not too far from here, and he was one of the few contractors that said that he'd be willing to take on the shop as well as doing the house. So once I finished with that, you know, I told him that we wanted to use him. We had to sign a contract. He had to write up an official contract. Then we had to start that, and then also along with that, we started the whole bank process, which for us was, I'm not gonna say it was a nightmare, but it took way longer than expected. The bank made us jump through a few hoops, because they didn't want to build the shop. So we ultimately ended up getting everything worked out in the end. Once you start the bank process, you'll need certain forms. They'll check your credit. You have to submit a mortgage application. You have to give them your check stubs. I think it was like the past 2 or 3 check stubs, your W-2s for the last few years. I'm sure I'm missing something in there. And then once you get all that submitted, like I said, of course they run your credit, your debt to income ratio for the amount of loan that you're wanting to take out. And then once you get that part done, the bank will approve you for your loan. You'll have to go get, you have to submit to them your the contract, the actual contract that you signed, and so on from that. And then so at that point, our contractor told us that he would go ahead and start you know, putting the dirt work in. Once we signed the contract, we're just working on the bank stuff. And like I said, and then also in the meantime of that, I went ahead and got a Perc test done, which a Perc test, for the ones who do not know, is pretty much a test to see if the ground where the septic tank will go, will let the sewage, not sewage, but we'll let your sewage go into the ground and pretty much evaporate into the ground. That Perc test here in Alabama, it costs $500 for the actual Perc test, and then it costs another $200 for the health department to whatever fees they had to get that going. And then once we got the Perc test done, I had to go over to the local water department and get I had to get a meter put in. So the meter was, it was $750 plus a $100 installment or deposit for whenever you actually get the house built, you know, get everything up and going, so that you can get your first bill. Also, you'll need a some kind of stick that has your address on it. Some contractors or electrical company, they're a little bit more picky than others. Ours wasn't, they really didn't ask for it, but I went ahead and done it before because I had watched previous videos and seen it. But you know, you had to take a stick with a big, pretty much a big sheet of, not a big sheet of plywood, but maybe plywood or so, a fourth of a sheet of address, write your address on it and put it at the end of your driveway. Also, whenever we bought the land, something I've missed, so I had to call the local 911 office and get a permanent address for the location, because it was land before. It was just we had just planted cotton on it for the past few years. I actually bought it probably around 2017, maybe into 2017 or so. That's when I bought the land. Like I said, I had never had a previous residence on the land, so I had to get a physical address. Like I said, I called the local 911 office, and they got that for me. Also, like I said, you had to get a water meter put in, a septic tank permit for the Perc test. You had to call the local power company and pretty much submit a form saying, hey, you know, we're building a house. They really don't come out to do the power until usually when the framing's going up, or when they see, you know, there's something that's being built and whatnot. Trying to think if I missed anything. Hopefully we can get this house in the ground in the next, really hoping in the next 2 weeks. You know, we can get a foundation going. I wanted to document this not only for the people who actually care about my channel, but for me personally and my family. You know, I'm married. I have 2 kids. I actually have 1 kid that's on the way. I have 3 kids. So this will be our house. I will show you what house we started at, and it will be a little shocking when you see where we started, but it's been well worth every effort, every piece of effort that we've put into it to be able to build this house in this new shop. I will, of course, try to document every process. My goal is to come down here once a week, maybe twice a month. Depends on kind of what they do. Every kind of big step they go through, I will make sure that I let y'all follow along with that, like I said, so that I can also look back at these videos and see where we started. It's always nice to have a lot of pictures, a lot of videos. We're not really posting anything to social media until the house is done, but like I said, I will most definitely let y'all follow along our process. In the very end, I will have a full house tour, for full shop tour, and so on. But if you have not already, please like and subscribe to my channel. It helps me out tremendously. Also hit the little bell to get notifications for whenever we post a video. I just want to say thank you all